So right now I'm very passionate about it, but I'm trying to find the good balance of being in one place and then also going out to play a lot of the big events. So I feel like I'm kind of working on finding the good balance this year.
Hey guys, Johnny Disc Golf here at the 2019 Glassblown Open with coverage presented by Disc Golf Pins. I am here with friend of the program and Team DD member, Mr. Peter McBride. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm even more excited to talk to you because it's been a long time coming. We've traveled a lot together, but what I want to know mostly, we're at GBO. You're part of Team DD. I know you flew in just for this event. How does it feel like being amongst family out here?
It feels good. It's cool to walk around town and see everyone just repping DD and having DD hats and everything. It's a pretty sweet experience.
Yeah, I've been talking to a few of the other team member guys. It says it's like they feel like it's almost like a festival. Like it's like a, I likened it to like disc golf Burning Man. Does it have that feel for you?
Yeah, I could say so for sure. Because normally you play an event and you're somewhere and you don't really see any other disc golfers. Maybe you know them, but here, everywhere you go, you're gonna see someone that's a disc golfer, and you can just usually tell they have brands on or something. But it's pretty cool to just everywhere you go, you can't escape it.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. It's super cool. I think it's I've always recommend it as like the best AM event. Maybe not the most dynamic, beautiful woods golf you're ever gonna see, but as far as an experience, it's really second to none. Folks have been seeing you on tour for a few years now. Fresh out of high school, you left to go on tour. This year, though, you took it a little light. What went into that decision, and what have you been up to?
I've just been kind of focusing on practice. I find it easier to really focus on productive practice when I'm not traveling, because there's so many moving pieces when you're traveling, especially living out of your vehicle and finding where you're going to stay, where you're going to eat, all this stuff. So you can practice, but I find it a lot easier to create good routines while I'm stationary.
Okay. And now, where is stationary for you?
I'm based in San Luis Obispo right now.
Okay. And you've been there all off season, or you've been traveling, or what's been up?
I've been traveling a little bit. I've played 3 events so far. This is my 4th.
Okay.
So 2 local ones, and I went out to Memorial.
Oh, okay.
So I've been hanging around, training, doing a lot of bike riding. So.
Okay. So earlier we were talking a little bit. You said that you're really trying to treat this. It might be counterproductive when you think about it this way, but treating it as a job. Mm-hmm. What's been your routine, or how have you been, treating it job-like?
I've just been looking at it. So you work a job 8 hours a day or whatever. If you really do that something similar, even on a smaller scale with disc golf, it's crazy how much all that practice will add up. So even if I'm just devoting an hour to putting and then maybe an hour to throwing, and whether it's a round or just some field work, it's really will in the long run it'll add up big time.
Okay. And so how are you feeling about your game right now? I know you obviously as a fantastic player, but haven't seen you playing as much. Do you feel like your game is where it needs to be? Is it the best it's ever been? Where are you, regarding that?
It feels good. It's definitely. I'm excited to go test it this week, because no matter how good it feels, you gotta bring it together when it matters. So my putt feels good and my throw feels good. I just need to. My goal is to just play pretty conservative out here and just get pars, stay in the fairways. Is my main goal.
Cool. You mentioned earlier that it's tough to, get those routines and get that practice routine in when you're traveling and living out of your vehicle. Mm-hmm. I know you most for the McBride mobile, the Toyota Sienna, the best gas mileage on tour probably. Have you been doing any upgrades? What's the progress with that?
I have, yeah. I gave myself a little more room. I'm kind of just working. I lowered my bed so I have a little more hangout space, so it's less of. Because before it was just a sleeping space, I couldn't really hang out and spend much time there. But now I can sit up and read and hang out, and it's a little more of a home that I want to hang out in.
Sure. One thing that I think is really interesting about you particularly is that you really started to come out on tour at a young age, right? At like 17, 18, and you've been doing it for 3-4 years now. Is that something that you see yourself doing for more time? Like, does it grate on you a little bit, or are you like just as passionate now that you've taken some time off to get right back to it?
Yeah, I'm just as passionate. So 2015 was my first full year of touring that I went out of California and for an extended time. So right now I'm very passionate about it, but I'm trying to find the good balance of being in one place and then also going out to play a lot of the big events. So I feel like I'm kind of working on finding the good balance this year.
Okay. So this year, GBO, you said you played Memorial, but other than that, this is really that first big event for you this year. And there has been pretty significant course changes out here. How do they, or have you practiced around, and what are the changes that you are most maybe looking forward to and maybe most like, whoa, worried about, like it's difficult now?
I'm a fan of pretty much all the changes out here. I really like them. They definitely make the course a lot harder. But hole 8 is I think my favorite hole on the course. The new par 5, really challenging first shot, and then the second shot is blind over the hill, similar to one of the old holes where if you leak out left, you're in the water. But it's such a good par 5, very birdieable, even if you don't throw that far. And then hole 9 is one that I'm not worried about, but I'm thinking about because the tee shot's very demanding. There's the landing zone's really skinny, and you have to hit a good gap. But I'm excited to go throw that one.
Cool. So we did a little video for the PDGA centered around hole 16, maybe the signature hole. You know, it has serious stakes, especially coming down at the end of the tournament. What's your game plan on that? You laying it up? You're running it? Talk me through your headspace.
I'm laying it up. Oh yeah, I'm throwing a harp and then probably a putter or maybe another harp right onto the green.
Cool. Playing for the ratings points. I respect that, man.
Yeah, exactly. Threes are good. If I can finish par on that hole, I'll be super stoked.
Great. So Simon said that all the changes out here, flat out 5 strokes harder. How do you feel? Is that accurate, or how do you feel like it's changed the scoreability of the course?
I feel like that's pretty accurate. We'll see how it goes throughout the weekend, but I feel like that's fairly accurate.
Cool. So a couple questions just to get you out of here. Do you have any big goals for this season? Like what, you've been spending time in the off season. Do you have anything in your mind that like you'd like to accomplish or that you'd like to work towards?
My goal is to get top 10 at all the big events I go play and just improve on the putting green because that's the biggest improvement that you can do that is a stroke for stroke improvement. Okay, you can drive a little better, but it might not gain you exact strokes. But if you make that putt instead of missing it, that's a stroke right there. So just make all my circle putts.
Sure. No, that's a great headspace to be in. I know you have a round coming up here in a few minutes, teeing off on hole 1 just over here. So I want to get you out with a chance to say anything you want to the fans, friends, people back in slow, anybody rooting for Mr. Peter McBride.
Just thanks for rooting for me and follow me on UDisc if you want to see how I'm doing this week.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time. Always appreciate spending time with Mr. PMAC. Check out all his signature discs if you haven't already. The PMAC Truth, which admittedly isn't your run this year, is seriously a staple in my bag for my turnover sidearms. But enough with all the branding. For all of you at home that want to follow coverage of all things disc golf, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, just wanted to issue a huge thank you to all of you that watched the interview, as well as the PDGA. Because of the relationship we have and the work I'm doing at all the NTs and majors, it's allowed me to focus full time on creating this YouTube channel and bringing all of you the most awesome content at all. Again, thanks to you, thanks to the PDGA, and if you have it in you, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/JohnnyDiscGolf.